Hello guys, this is a video I'm going to do on Flight Simulator X, and basically it's going to be on the FsPassengers mod. The reason you'll see the bar at the top with Microsoft Flight Simulator X and the icon and the buttons is because DxStory does not like to record the mod I'm going to be using called FsPassengers. Basically you'll see later and I'll explain to you why. Anyway, I've put my parking brake on, I've turned my engine off, and it's time to start the flight. I am in Berlin right now. I'm on the runway in Berlin, ready for takeoff, and I'm going to start a flight. So I'm going to start a flight with FsPassengers. FsPassengers comes up with this menu which takes away the actual thing DxStory clings onto, so I can't record DxStory. Right, so I'm going to pick up my two passengers and I'm going to see who they are. So we've got Kutzner and Bites. So these are two people, but they've got weights. See, okay, this becomes important, right? And basically, I've got 160 pounds of luggage, and at the moment my weight is maximum takeoff weight excess. It's excess of 106%, which is too much. But luckily, I'm flying from Berlin to Magdeburg, so the amount of fuel I need does not need to be as high. So I'm going to get 35% fuel. Just to be cautious. So I'm going to set my thing, which I think ICAO code is DBM. Yes, it is, Magdeburg, Germany.
Destination set.
Destination set, okay. So I could go real-time load, but because, you know, video and time, it'll take longer, and I don't know what to do that. So I'm just going to go load immediately. And now they're in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press the seatbelt sign, and the passengers will get the seatbelt on. See, one of them already got the seatbelt on because he's clever. The other one will take a bit of time to put the seatbelt on. Right, so my parking brake can now be turned off, and I need to bring up my GPS to actually know where the hell I'm going, or I'm going to get lost, and no one wants to get lost. Let's just remember that. No one really wants to get lost because we're in a plane and they're expensive and fuel's expensive, because it all costs money in this. This plane costs me money as well. Right, well, not real life money, but money in the game. So they've both got seatbelts on now, as you can see by the little thing. I am now going to set my takeoff flaps, which is one notch on the flap button. You might be able to see the flaps. I'll show you there. Yeah, the flaps have gone down a bit over there. So now I'm going to go back into my thing, and I'm going to increase the throttle all the way to maximum. If my engines were on, yeah, I'm going to need to turn on my engines, which is Control E. Oh yeah, my engines are on. And I will now increase my throttle to maximum to begin takeoff, which is what the ultimate, you know, we ultimately need to do right now before I run over time, because I will be taking off and then cutting video when I get on course. I will cut back near takeoff, near landing, and I'm pulling up at about 70 knots now. A bit of a rough takeoff, but it should be fine. Gear up, flaps up, and GPS back on because it comes off every time you go into third person. So there we are. That's a basic takeoff. It's not too hard. It shouldn't be too hard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start gently banking, maybe 20 to 30 degrees to the left. Because it's a light aircraft, the altitude does not need to be as high as jet airliners, so I do not need to take a higher altitude. My maximum altitude here is probably going to be 4,000 feet. And that's if I'm not paying attention. I'll probably keep it at 3,000. But the reason I'm turning nice and gently like this is because if I do not turn gently, the passengers are going to get restless, and passenger satisfaction, which is over there on the little blue box, will drop, and that means you don't get as much cash and you don't get as much pilot points, which means you can upgrade your aircraft. Not upgrade your aircraft, but upgrade your pilots so they can fly better aircraft, if you know what I mean. So I'll be flying jet airliners if I can upgrade my pilot enough. So now, as you can see, the little blue line, green line at the bottom, and the little plane, little pink line, shall I say, and the plane arm nearly joined up, and this is where I'm going to fly straight, basically. So I'll see you guys in a swift moment after it's, you know, rejigged and you're ready, because I do not want to see the whole flight. It's not that eventful. Okay guys, as you can see at the bottom on the GPS to the bottom left now, we are on final approach to the airport. This is bits where it gets a bit more tricky because the lining up to the runway and the landing is a little bit harder than taking off. But first I'm going to zoom in, because as you zoom in you get better detail. And it looks like to me that I need to come out to the right, and then I need to go in on the airport. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bank out to the right here. As you can see, the customer satisfaction is at 96%, and it's going down. This is what we call turbulence. Yeah, they get really scared by turbulence sometimes. When the aircraft jostles about, and I think you need to get crew on bigger aircraft to you know, tell them that it's just turbulence. They don't need to be worried. So that's the only problem I find with these smaller aircraft. And of course, there's the maximum passengers is quite slow, small. See, it's happening again. The turbulence is happening again. Jeez. God damn you, Magdeburg. Why are you turbulences? Right. So I'm going to decrease my throttle and stay below 200 knots, because otherwise, if I go faster than that, I'll be exceeding airspace. I'll be exceeding maximum stuffs. Right, so I should have really been descending already, but I'm going to lower the throttle a bit more. I might have to go back for a second run because I was concentrating on talking more than flying. Yeah, I might have to do that. So what I'm going to do now is lower my airspeed a bit and go down for a second run, because I'm not nowhere near low enough. So what I'm going to do is go on the leg. I'm going to go on the downward leg of this, because I expect let's just pretend that the wind is going to the east. So I'll be coming round to land on the runway. So what we're doing now is I'll be decreasing my airspeed. It's at 160 knots now, and for some reason the aircraft hates it when you decrease the engine thrust. Not thrust, you know, yeah, thrust. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to activate some flaps, one notch of flaps. It'll slow my aircraft down because of drag. And I'm going to come round to land on that bit to that runway, runway 9, or runway 9 if you want to say it like a proper person, like a proper pilot. Sorry about that. Right, so it looks like I'm at 120 knots now. Decrease my airspeed a bit because I don't want to fall below that, because that'll be cruising airspeed. Under 100 is landing, so I want to make sure I'm at a high enough speed to turn properly. As you can see, I'm very low now. I'm only at about 500 meters because I'm descending, and you can see the houses underneath me. I'm now going to start turning once I get my thing up. I'm going to get that up, and I'm going to start turning now. This should bring me up. No, I'm going to take my flaps off because I seem to be going too slow, which is not fun. And also increase my thing. I'm at quite a high bank now. Well, high bank for a civilian aircraft anyway. And I'm coming round for the landing. Am I going to decrease my thrust a bit? You can probably hear the engine not changing. When I have runway in sight, which is right there. There we go. That looks like a good landing, doesn't it, guys? Right. Once I have runway in sight, increase my thrust a bit, put flaps, landing gear, all flaps down, full flaps, so this is landing flaps, is what we call. And as you can see, the aircraft is quite heavily losing speed once I decrease the throttle. And I'm just going to drop it to my lowest, and I'm going to come in for a landing. This landing's not the best because I've been concentrating on talking, not flying. I usually have to concentrate a bit more, but it looks like we're going to go okay. So lowest throttle, coming close down to the runway, lifting up flaring a bit, and we've kissed. Okay. And there, the front's down. So now we're going to hit the brakes, and we should come to a stop before the end of the runway. So it wasn't a bad landing at all, really, considering the circumstances. Anyhow, this is where we're going to come to finish the flight. So we stopped that, and this one you don't need to go on the taxiway or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out, stop the engine, open the door, and they should start getting out. Once I turn the belt sign off. When I turn the belt sign off, they should start getting out of my face. They should. No, they should not. Well, are they? Should be getting out of my face right now. Nope, off. Right. Oh, this is interesting stuff. This is cool stuff here, so you can know when you can. You should never go faster than that, and I should never go faster than that. Was my landing flaps and then velocity flaps, which are that. Okay, so that makes perfect sense to people that sort of recognise that it makes sense. And these guys should be getting their asses out of my plane. Should probably put parking brake. Yep. Okay, you have to put parking brake on to get them out of the plane. So there you are. So this is basically what the message that will come up and when they're boarding as well. So if you put real-time boarding, that would have taken a certain amount of time. In 20 seconds, these guys are going to be out of my face, and I will be able to end the flight and pick up some much-needed not loyalty points, but much-needed pilot points and a bit of cash. I mean, you start with quite a large sum of cash. See, so I mean, cash isn't a worry. Now, if I do this, and I go down to end flight. And there we go, now we got all the bunch of stuff. See? Landing touchdown, nice. Good landing touchdown. Passenger opinion, very good flight, professionally done. You can get 100%, but that requires no turbulence in small aircraft. See, I got 4 grand for the flight. And I got a perfect flight bonus. And I got 30 minutes because 2 times acceleration, because I can't fly for that long in these craft because it's boring. Really incredibly boring. There we are, and now your company reputation also increases. You made a very nice landing, and you landed at the scheduled airport, but I got minus 30%. So that's 55 points of thing, and if I record this flight now, it has been recorded. And now a little cool little thing is you can go to your pilot, company manager, pilots, there we go. There, this tells you what you've got. My points are 100. This is apparently points I got earlier, but 127 points, and I need 300 points and 5 flying hours to proceed to next level. And the next level would let me go to a student pilot, but I'm still have to only fly these. Once I get to C3 commercial pilot, I get multi-engine prop aircraft, and then I get prop and turbo prop piloting, and then first officers, any aircraft, any aircraft, any aircraft, and then any aircraft, and this is where you start getting good stuff. But it requires a lot of time to put in. So there's that video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little introduction to FsPassengers and the game I'm playing right now. Want games? Put them in the comments, description. Yeah, comments and links to these. Links to the model will be in the description. As always, I will see you guys next time.